We are close to the coming of the Passover, the 14th day of the first month in the Hebrew calendar. I was born in South Wales, a little village in South Wales. Countryside was all around me. And it was probably at the age of 3 when I began to really take notice of everything that was around. And I was just fascinated by all that I could see. I was fascinated by the trees, by the grass, by the birds that sang. I was fascinated by the little caterpillar that would crawl on my hand. I was fascinated by the little butterfly. I was fascinated by the ladybug that would also come and crawl on my hand. I was fascinated by everything. I was born in my grandmother's house, so she had a garden. And I used to love just going into the garden and picking a carrot and washing it, and it was so sweet and so lovely. I was fascinated by that. I was fascinated by how the peas grew. And I just loved picking the pod, opening the pod and eating those peas. They were wonderful. They were wonderfully tasty back then. I'm talking now about the 1940s. And I was fascinated by all of these things around me. At the age of 5, we moved to England. We moved to northern England because there was work for my mom and dad, much more work up in the industrial part of northern England than there was in a country village in South Wales, and Wales itself being a farming country. So we moved there. Parents sent me to a Church of England school at the age of 7. I went to their kindergarten, shall we say, school before the age of 7. But at the age of 7, you moved up to their regular educational school and Church of England, or the Anglican Church, as some people know it by. The first day in attendance, we were given a book, and it said on the front of it, Holy Bible. The lady teacher said, open up to page 1. And she began to read, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. It was like a light bulb just went off in my head. And I thought, oh, that's why I'm fascinated by all the things that I can see. Because a being out there, somewhere out there, a great being made all of these things that I can see. And I believed in God right from that moment on. The universe, we now know so much more about it than we ever did in the past. In this year of 2020, we know so much more about the universe. I have some DVDs. They are done by the History Company, the History Channel, and it's about the solar system. And it is fascinating what we have, drop my page here, what we have learned about the solar system. The sun, 93 million miles away. We only have one that's near us. It boils and blows. It is known as a yellow dwarf. Within its boundaries, we could fit 1 million planet Earths, 1 million miles across. The surface temperature is 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. In 1 second, it throws out more energy than has been used by all humans in all ages. How? If the sun used wood, it would all be used up in 5,000 to 6,000 years. In the 1920s, we discovered nuclear fusion. The center of the sun, 27 million degrees Fahrenheit, and it's dense. 10 times denser than lead. Still, it's a plasma. Being so hot, it remains a liquid plasma. Hydrogen atoms smash to form helium atoms. And the atoms then are slightly smaller, so that they give off then a certain amount of energy. Each second inside the sun, 600 tons of hydrogen are fused to make 595 million tons of helium. Energy then is given off. 1 billion 1 megaton nuclear bombs every second. The energy is carried at what we call photons. Photons have to make their way out through and up through the sun to the surface. And it's a zigzag pattern because they smash and they crash into other atoms and other things in making their way up to the surface of the sun. Gets closer to the top, there isn't as much smashing and crashing, so it's easier. But nevertheless, it takes 10 days to get to the surface. The explosions are not due to magnetism. Earth has 2 magnetic poles, the north and the south. The sun has 1 million or so. Gravity holds it together. But plasma does not rotate evenly. So, magnetic fields are all mixed up on the sun. You can see the loops created, some so large you could slide Jupiter through them. Sun explosions equal millions of nuclear bombs leave the sun all at once. Now, some are so huge, it's like you could cover the land surface of the earth with dynamite 3 feet thick and explode it all at once. Now, those are some of the interesting things about the sun. Our moon, 1/4 the size of the earth, 234,000 miles away. One side faces us 24/7, but it's very different from us. No air, no sound, black sky. 270 degrees Fahrenheit at midday to minus 240 degrees below zero at night. Now, the moon and earth produce tides, and moon is important for our rotation, our tilt of rotation that we have on earth. And it also is important for keeping our seasons. Mercury, 48,000 million miles from Earth. It is colorless. It's closest to the sun, no atmosphere, 60% smaller than Earth. It's just one dead planet. No clouds. 800 degrees Fahrenheit facing the sun, minus 300 below zero on the other side. Meteors hit it. It's the most impacted planet in our solar system. And it has a crater that is 900 miles across. And if that hit us, all life on planet Earth would come to an end. Venus, distance from the Earth 26 million miles. A 150-pound person on Earth would weigh 136 pounds on Venus. It's about the size of the Earth. Conditions, though, are very different. It's what some people call an evil twin. Venus has been hit hard with meteors. It spins backwards. It has a wicked climate. Surface temperature 900 degrees Fahrenheit. It's the hottest planet in our solar system. Greenhouse effect is what it has on Venus. Carbon dioxide, 95% is the atmosphere. Lots of volcanoes. 30 miles up, there are electric storms that make 900 degrees Fahrenheit a cold front. Jupiter. Some information on Jupiter here. Largest planet in the solar system. 1 billion, half a billion miles from the sun. It's a ball of gas. Could fit 1,000 Earths into it. It's made of 4% hydrogen, 14% helium. The two lightest materials in our solar system. It has no solid anything, so there's no landing on Jupiter. 150-pound person on Jupiter would be 350 pounds. It has clouds of sulfur. It has water as well in these clouds. It is frigid and it is also fiery. Its electromagnetic radiation would kill you in an instant. Its red eye has been noticed for about 400 years. A hurricane with no eye, winds of 350 miles an hour. You could flay out the earth and fit it inside this red eye. And this red eye needs no water, as hurricanes do on Earth. It has the wildest weather in the solar system. It spins so fast it has many jet streams going in opposite directions. It sucks up many meteors, comets, and throws some of them out just anywhere. It's like someone throwing out a frisbee. It so keeps our Earth from being hit by many space objects. It is, as some people say, it is the big guy on the block protecting the small guy on the block. Some of the little facts about our solar system. And then if you talk about the universe, I mean, well, the DVDs from the History Channel just blow you away with all the things that we have discovered out there in the universe. But the universe was made, and it was made, shockingly, that most people don't think about unless they read the Bible and the New Testament very slowly. It was indeed made by the one that we know of as Jesus Christ. Colossians 1, verse 16, talking about Jesus Christ. For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions, principalities or powers, all things were created by him and for him. Jesus Christ was the creator of this universe. And we can find that also in the book of Hebrews. Try and get to the book of Hebrews here. Just lost my place there. Hebrews chapter 1. God, who at sundry times and in different manners spake to the times past through the fathers by the prophets, has in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he has appointed heir of all things, and by whom also he made the worlds. Jesus Christ was a part of the Godhead, and he indeed is the one that actually did the creating. Jesus Christ did the creating. And we'll see more, getting very personal about creation next time.